Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Superstars of Wrestling review series, June the 12th. Sorry about that. 1993, the Steiner brothers against Ralph LaRoe and Mike Sharp. Steiner brothers literally a week or two away from winning the tag team championships. Here's another tune-up match for their benefit. Rick and Scott Steiner, I don't know that they ever really hit their stride in the WWF completely. This is as close as they come over the next, let's say, 4 or 5 months through the end of 93, perhaps. Anyway, Rick with some fireman's carry works on the arm a bit of Mike Sharp. Mike Sharp, of course, been an enhancement talent for a while. Big clothesline out of the corner by Rick Steiner, and then tag off to Scott. Scott manages to go a little bit nutty with a clothesline of his own. Catches the guy a little high in not the best situations. Big running, I guess I'd say gutbuster. Mike Sharp is phenomenal on the outside, selling that his partner is injured. This is just kind of like, I'm glad it's not me, but ouch moment. And a bulldog, elevated bulldog by the Steiners for the win. Update to Crush versus Shawn Michaels for the following day at the King of the Ring tournament. Shawn Michaels won the Intercontinental Championship back at a live event the Sunday before this, and that means that the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line at the King of the Ring in 24 hours. We then move to Crush being less than happy with, or being less than unhappy rather with this, but Shawn Michaels is unhappy with it. Then we move to the 1-2-3 Kid turning down, I believe it was $7,500 here, to get back in the ring with Razor Ramon. Ramon, speaking of which, is part of the next match against, again, Bert Santino. Santino, a guy that I knew reasonably well as a teenager in the business back in the late 90s. Quiet guy, humble guy, good guy, and one of the first guys that I got a chance to really get to know. Bret Hart basically starts up the 1-2-3 chant with the crowd on the video wall, making fun of Razor for losing to an unknown kid. Of course, that unknown kid would become one of his best friends in Sean Waltman, but we don't know that at the time. Anyway, some shots, and again, this is the day before the King of the Ring, so Razor doesn't need something in his head, but he has to endure it anyway. Overhead body slam release style, fall-away release slam by Ramon, and then he follows up with the second rope suplex, followed by the Razor's Edge 1-2-3. Razor looks to be in peak condition. Jim Duggan and the Narcissist both talk about their respective King of the Ring matches in a face-to-face segment. Duggan and Bigelow. Duggan says he's ready. He's been pushing extra weight, doing extra things. And, of course, we get the hype for the rest of the King of the Ring tournament. Luger basically guarantees that he is going to win the King of the Ring because he's that much better. And then we move to Hacksaw Duggan versus Mike Bell. Bell, a guy who does enhancement work for the next several years. But here he's taking the fall for good old Hacksaw. And that is, I guess, what's in front of him. Hacksaw, a bit of a brawler even at this point. Big body slam, does the whole spin around with the slam, then jumps into a running clothesline. 1-2-3 Hacksaw with your victory. Mr. Fuji does an interview for Yokozuna with Bonnie Blackstone. Basically says he's going to lead Yoko to crush Hogan 5-6 times. Hogan can't slam him. Hogan isn't ready for a guy who has been bulked up, according to Mr. Fuji, to 550 pounds. Been feeding him, according to Mr. Fuji, 40 pounds of rice a day and chicken and steak and all sorts of other things. Then we go to an interesting match just because of who it is. The Undertaker, we've seen him in enhancement talent matches before, but never with the man who would later become just incredible, and that is PJ, and in this incarnation, PJ Walker. One of the first matches for Walker. I think he had a match on Raw as an enhancement guy before this, but just incredible against The Undertaker. If you've ever wondered what that would look like in 1993, here it is. Several shots by The Undertaker in the corner, and obviously PJ has not gained nearly any weight. He goes on to be Aldo Montoya in the weeks and months to come here, probably around 1994 sometime, and then goes on to become just incredible in late 96, early 97 ECW. But here he is doing the honors for The Undertaker. Paul Bearer on the outside with The Undertaker, very happy with the very obvious enhancement level job that Mr. Walker is doing, and the progress for the Undertaker. Undertaker hits the flying clothesline, and we're still looking at him to find someone to feud with, which happens within the next couple of weeks. Big choke slam actually happens here as the Giant Gonzalez makes his way out, battling with the Undertaker. Mr. Hughes grabs the basically assaults Paul Bearer, hits him with the urn, grabs the urn, takes the urn, knocks the Undertaker out, and steals the urn. First time I think we've ever seen someone steal the urn from the Undertaker. Mean Gene shaken up about this in the backstage area. We move that into a promo with Hulk Hogan for King of the Ring. Basically says he's fired up by his kids, he's fired up by spending time with his friends, and defeating Yokozuna once and for all. Basically says that Yoko had better be ready, because the fact of the matter is even Jimmy Hart is ready, and Jimmy Hart's going to go after Mr. Fuji. Then we see a mini rap for the coming of Men on a Mission, which is Mabel, Mo, and Oscar. They do a little mini rap on what their names are, literally a 30 to 45 second thing. Think three African American males rapping like it's 1994 in their tag team, literally and figuratively. Tag team the band and a wrestling tag team, and that's what you've got. Money Incorporated against Tony Roy and Buddy Lane. I believe this is the last television match they have as tag team champions. We'll get to that in the next show. But anyhow, they do some basic promo work here, does IRS, and that's basically the end of that. IRS goes around with his adversary, works the arm a little bit, goes after, punches, kicks. DiBiase takes over and hits a clothesline, among other things, on his opponent. IRS and DiBiase make frequent tags. They're a good tag team. Keep in mind they've been champions for about 8 months now, so decent reign, not something that's really abrupt like we see today. The sleeper hold, and then the Steiners make their way out to make a challenge to Money Incorporated. Eventually, that challenge is taken up for next week. We close the program with Bret Hart and Razor Ramon. Ramon says he's going to be the King of the Ring. Bret Hart says he can't even beat an enhancement talent. What's the big deal? Can't even beat a kid. What's the big deal? And that's where we close the program. So until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.